started. Thank you so much for your company. So what really happened? You are number 6 and you got 6. Is it the lack of money? What exactly happened?
Very much. I mean, thank you very much, and to your viewers. I've been following your program. Very interesting. This is not the first time I've gone through this kind of process. So I found it exciting. I love campaigning. I'm an eternal Democrat. I believe in majority rule. Once the majority decides, the majority decides. I enjoyed going around the 16 regional capitals, meeting the super delegates, selling my message and my vision for ushering in a new dawn in Ghana, because I think after 30 years of democracy, we need to rethink the things that we are doing to regenerate our leadership and also look at what our understanding of public service should mean to us, to the country. We need a lot more public-spirited individuals running for public office and doing the things that would ensure that there's a collective security for all Ghanaians and the welfare of especially the underprivileged. So that was really my platform. And yes, it was disappointing I couldn't make the cut. And that's fine. I accept the result. The party, the super delegates have decided. And as someone who believes in the majority rule, that's it. You have to respect the decision of the majority.
Were you surprised at the results, though? Because many tipped you to go into the top 5.
Yes,
what really happened?
I was surprised I didn't make the cut. I thought that I would at least be 4th. But these things happen. I mean, in elections, look, you have to take the highs with the lows in life. So you have to be tough, emotionally strong, mentally strong. You go into a battle, and it's not like a football match. There cannot be a draw. Either you win or you lose. So you prepare yourself for the 2 outcomes. And that's what I did. So I'm very tough. And I'm fine. I'm carrying on with my life. I just want to see the party genuinely united, genuinely on a platform to reconnect with Ghanaians and ensure that we restore those cherished values as a political tradition, and also to win the confidence of the Ghanaian peoples, to stand a chance of winning a 3rd elusive consecutive election. So it's something that hasn't happened, which is very difficult. And so I want to see the party work in tandem. And I'm happy with the way the election itself was conducted. I think kudos to the elections committee. So far, I mean, all the reports I got, apart from 1 or 2 places that there were some physical altercations which were unnecessary. I think it was a simple walk-in process, no gatherings, no addresses. Just go and vote and express your opinion. I don't believe in looking for excuses, because at the end of the day, everybody went and voted expressing their free will. No, I don't think anybody held anybody's tongue, so whether they were influenced or given money and all that, it's neither here nor there. I don't like that. And when we have an election, and we should accept the result and move on. That's what I think.
Did you pay money to delegates?
It's not for me to disclose those things to you. I mean, when you travel around the country, you go to Dambai and somebody has come from Ketekrachi to come and meet you, to hear you address them. The decent thing to do is to try and subsidize their transport. So a little transport money, that is not buying. It's something that we've done from 1992. I did it when I contested in 98, in 2007, in 2014, when I won as General Secretary. So all the things, the shenanigans that people orchestrate, I think, for me as a politician, you should focus on the big picture. Focus on your attempt to win the vote. And if you are lucky to do so, you thank God for that and you carry on. If you don't win, you go back and you re-strategize and lick your wounds, as I'm licking mine.
Well, these subsidies, though, what constitutes subsidies like this that you give to delegates?
I don't. Why are you so interested in these things?
Because it's an allegation that has come up against, at least.
It's not about anybody's allegation. I'm telling you what I do when I travel around. When I go around and I meet people.
Are you not worried, Mr. Agyepong, for instance, the fact that maybe you may have given some subsidy, maybe 20 cedis or 50 cedis, and others go and they give as much as maybe 1,000 cedis or 500 cedis, could it not influence their vote against you? Maybe you have a better message, but because of the subsidies that people give to others, it makes it difficult for them to vote for you.
They still have the power of choice. They have the power of free expression. And they should be able to vote their conscience. There can be no excuses for how you vote, whether you vote because you're given money or not. I don't want to spend too much time. Okay. What is important is that they had their time to express their free will. And I think I saw in most of the company and the media covered the event almost minute by minute. And I didn't see everybody was free there, go and vote, you have your ballot, you vote. There can be no excuses. So I think that we should just respect the result and then carry on. Okay,
in hindsight though, is there anything you would have done differently in your campaign or messaging, you would say?
I think all across board. I've listened to reviews from academia, CSOs, politicians. But somebody even said I had the best message of all. And I think it was internet and all that. I think I had a very strong platform. That 6-point plan for Ghana to rescue our country, I think is very strong. And I hope that the winner takes some portions of it. I think it's still valid, and we need to change the country, the way we do our politics, our orientation. We've got to recalibrate our values and our attitude towards public service in our country. And to understand that party politics is itself, the political parties are vehicles for development of our country. They are not an end in itself. It is about developing our country. And so I'm very passionate about the transformation of the Ghanaian and our country and restoring our cherished values, putting our hands on our chest and saying that we are Ghanaians, we are patriotic, we love our country, we are prepared to sacrifice and serve our country. And that's why my campaign was based on what I call the Triple S doctrine: service, sacrifice, and selflessness. Once you've been able to do that, you are at peace with yourself. I think Ghanaians and politicians should feel a sense of fulfillment in serving their country and not expecting anything in return. What worries me today is everybody seems to think about what they can get out of their country rather than what they can give back to their party or their country. And that is what I want to bequeath to the generations unborn. That for me was the platform that I mounted, and that's what I want to see the young people do too. We as politicians should distribute inspiration. The way we conduct ourselves, the discourse has to be elevated, and the venom has to be removed. We can disagree respectfully and all that. It has to be a contest of ideas, and it should be so refreshing that younger people should be aspiring to be politicians, not the kind of acerbic tongues that we have seen dominating the political environment these days. And I think the media, you have a role to play as the fourth estate of the realm. And sometimes I don't think the media is searching enough. I conducted over 200 interviews around the country. And I think that the media should have called for a debate amongst the 10 of us, because the Ghanaian people deserve to know what is on our minds, what our platforms are, what our priorities are, and what our policy differences and all that. We didn't have that. So how do you expect people to make a decision?
Because your party was going to sift, and then at least your party had mentioned you need a top 5. We couldn't have done it when you announced sifting. Now that is done, we'll get to do it. But really, coming back,
the Democratic Party in America have about 11 or 12 candidates have a debate. So they talk about the numbers.
Politicians are always quick to always put the blame at the doorstep of the media, but we'll get to it. You talked about the fact that you wanted to be 4th, for instance, but I've seen the top 3. Were you surprised at the rankings that at least you wanted to be 4th? Was this the particular ranking you were expecting in terms of the top 3? Were you surprised at Alan Chemantin's performance, for instance?
I've been around politics for so long, from 1992 during the Dubois Henry's time. And that was the biggest shock I experienced, the loss to Rawlings in 1992. For me, I don't assume anything with politics. When you are going into a battle, of course, people do polls. I've never loved polls and given much value to them. But there's an election that was quite close to the poll I saw last week. So at the end of the day, an election is only called when it is counted. When it is counted, that is the free expression of the people, the electorate. And for me, that is what it is.
Well, you've been at the helm of affairs of the party before. I've heard you talk about unity, really. From what you've seen in terms of the campaigning and where we are now and going into November 4, will the party have a huge task, or will it be easy for the party to stay united and gather round for 2024 from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think we the aspirants, we know each other. I mean, I have had a call from Kwabena Agyei Agyepong last night, Alan Martin last night, and I put a call to the vice president this morning to congratulate him on his victory in the first round. And we know ourselves. I mean, Joe Date is my colleague in school from Infansipum. I know Adainimi who I've known from a Dubwarian's time. I think we should understand that all of us had a vision to lead our party and to serve our country, Ghana. But the decision rests in the bosom of the electorate, and they have decided, and we should respect their decision. That's what I love. So all of us, I want to see this party genuinely united, and that is why a lot of the venom, especially on party platforms, from the backers of various candidates, kind of intemperate language that is being used. Of course, in politics.
But it's coming from your colleagues. You've seen some of your colleagues. You've seen Kwabena Agyei Agyepong. You said you